Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. So last night, the Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-25 in their first preseason action of the year. A lot of insiders and fans are saying that the offensive line played so excellent and they played great and they played cohesive. I seem to have a different take. Yes, they only gave up one sack, but the Pittsburgh Steelers could not run the ball for anything. I mean, they could not run the football. And Lou Nichols, he had 6 carries for 31 yards. I'm assuming he's the third or fourth string guy, but Caleb Johnson had 8 carries for 20 yards. He had his longest rush in the night was 7 yards. And to be honest with you, this is very concerning to me. A lot of people are going to say, oh, it's just preseason, don't worry about it. But you got to be able to run the football, and you have to be able to run the football a lot better than that. And this always brings me back to Najee Harris. I'm a big Najee guy. If you look at Najee's stats and you compare him per carry, not years in the league, per carry, he had better stats than Jerome Bettis. He went over 1,000 yards every year he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was phenomenal. He never played with a quarterback. He never played with a good quarterback. He never played with an offensive line that gelled, and he was still going over 1,000 yards every single year. And I think a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and I think the Pittsburgh Steelers themselves, took him for granted. Like they wanted more out of Najee Harris. Now, I do expect the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line to be a lot better this year, along with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Of course, that opens things up. And I believe if the Steelers would have kept Najee Harris, he would have rushed for 1,300 or 1,500 yards and had his 12 to 15 touchdowns, as he usually does. He's super durable. I'm not just writing off Caleb Johnson and saying he's a bust, but to me, this is very concerning. Very. I see multiple reports. Oh, the offensive line played great for the Steelers, and this guy moved well, and that is true to a degree. But if they were so excellent, why are they only, 2.4 yards a carry running the football with your starting running back? 2.4 yards a carry. It's not going to cut it in the NFL. We need to run the football. It helps Aaron Rodgers with his age and everything else. Like, we need to run the ball. And this wasn't a good sign for running the football. Now let's get to the positive stuff. Obviously, the first string defense wasn't in there, but I like what I saw from the defense. Very stingy, didn't want to give up any yards, played tough. Even when it was bend, don't break. Beanie Bishop played well. I love seeing Cole Holcomb out there do his thing. Cole Holcomb looked fully recovered from the horrific injury that he suffered. It was really good to see him out there. Jack Sawyer, he's going to have to chain his pass rush moves together. You can't just bull rush, or you can't just use one move. If you do one move, it's got to be chained into 2 or 3 moves sometimes, unless you get as strong as James Harrison, and you can basically use the same move over and over again. Now, I love Jack Sawyer. I love the pick, and he's doing everything right. He's super strong. He has a nonstop motor. He plays as hard as possible. Even at Ohio State, playing against college offensive linemen, Jack Sawyer, and I forget how to pronounce his name sometimes, JT Tuimoloau, when you watched them rush the passer, they were usually one rush type. They usually used one move to rush the passer. It was usually an effort sack. In the NFL, you're going to have to learn to use your hands better. You're going to have to chain things together. If one move doesn't work, you have to turn it into 2. If 2 moves don't work, you got to turn it into 3. You can't be a one-trick pony in the NFL. But I liked what I saw last night from the Steelers defense. It was bend, don't break. And I'm always going to side with defense. Defense. Whether it's the first string, the second string, the third string, I want to see guys that make the offense earn every single yard, and it's do or die every play. And I did get that feeling from the Pittsburgh Steelers last night on defense, and I really liked it. Now, the quarterback play. Mason Rudolph, he looked excellent. 9 for 10, 84 yards, and a touchdown to big country Darnell Washington. Listen, Darnell Washington looks absolutely sensational. He can block. He lost 10 or 15 pounds. He can run down the field. He's 6'7", 6'8". I mean, who knows? He might even be 6'9". I have no clue. The man's a giant. He can run. He's fast. He's physical. I love his attitude. I think with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the football this year, he's going to take a huge step up in the offense, and he knows it, and I think he's going to be more motivated than ever. Then Skylar Thompson, the third-string quarterback, 20 for 28, 233 yards and 3 touchdowns. Hey, if we're going by Shedeur Sanders' stats and fame, if Skylar Thompson had 233 yards and 3 touchdowns, he should be the next Joe Montana, according to all the Shedeur worshipers and fans, because, Shedeur had 2 touchdowns, and ESPN and the fan base is going absolutely crazy like he's the next Patrick Mahomes. So, I mean, it's only positive with Skylar Thompson. 233 yards, 3 touchdowns. You can't go wrong there. So, both the second-string quarterback, the third-string quarterback played great last night. I don't know where this leaves Will Howard. I don't think obviously the Steelers aren't going to get rid of Will Howard. I don't know how many games. Maybe he goes to practice. I have no clue what's going to go on. But it's always a good sign when you got 3 quarterbacks on the roster that look like they can play. Neither one of those guys was flustered last night. They didn't play in panic mode. I didn't expect Mason Rudolph to play like that. I was a little concerned about Skylar Thompson. But Skylar Thompson looked poised. He looked mature. He didn't look frantic. He looked excellent. Keyshawn Williams, number 85 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had 2 receptions for 55 yards and a touchdown. He reminds me of Troy Edwards, the first-round draft pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1999 from Louisiana Tech. Same build, similar type of explosion when they catch the ball. I was really shocked who he was, but he looked great last night. Every time he catches the ball, he's looking to score, and you could see that. He's shorter, he's stockier, he has that burst, and he looks like an excellent catch in the round that he was drafted in. Roman Wilson had a decent game last night. Carson Bruner, number 44, led the way for the defense. 7 total tackles, 5 solo, played outstanding. The Steelers had no sacks in last night's game. I never like to see that. I always want to see the Pittsburgh Steelers get to the quarterback. That's what they're known for, rushing the quarterback. They're outside linebackers, where you're either the first-string guys, second-string guys, third-string guys. I want to see the heat brought on every play. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with my next statement. They're going to say, oh, it's the preseason. You shouldn't give away new things that you're doing, new wrinkles to your defense or offense. But I disagree with that a little bit. If you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers defense last night, it was the same old Steelers doing the same old things. You knew where the pass rush was coming from. I thought we should have mixed the blitz up more. I thought we should have maybe went to a 3-4, a real 3-4 defense, and just throw some new wrinkles out there and try it in the preseason. Who cares if other teams see it? They have to know, they got to stop it. It's all about execution. So when you turn on the TV, I know for me anyway, when I turn on the television and it's just the same thing all the time, the pass rush from the same 2 spots to 2 outside linebackers and obviously the 2 defensive linemen. I don't know. I got a problem with it. You're going to say, oh, Tomlin doesn't want to give away the secrets. But you got to do this this is the preseason. Give it a try. See how it works. Do some different things. The Steelers didn't throw any interceptions, which is a good thing. Both Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph were each sacked 1 time. Preseason's kind of weird. It's almost like if the players play well, everybody's like, oh, no big deal. It's just preseason. But then if the players crap the bed, it's like the end of the world. So you're kind of in a no-win situation. I don't know how to feel about the preseason football. I put stock in it, but then I don't put stock in it. I know I'm contradicting myself, and it sounds absolutely ridiculous. I just can't wait for the regular season to get started. But hey, the Pittsburgh Steelers did win the game 31-25, and I'm going to end it with that on a positive note. But the Pittsburgh Steelers really need to run that football. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.